Okay, hello everyone. Welcome. I'm a little bit late, sorry. But as always, too much work to do. I'm extremely busy lately at work. So it's tough to prepare, but those are excuses. So no more excuses. Welcome again. Today we'll be reviewing my 7 Seas Entertainment shelf. I assume we won't get through all of them because as we tried with Tokyo Pop, it's just too many to dig a little bit deeper, to give you a good overview so you know if you want to read it, if you want to purchase it. Fake DU22, hello, how are you? I don't know, but I don't see any message. Come on. Okay, it's working. Now it should be fine. So welcome. Let's start with the recommendation of the day. So today, a very simple one, which is the title of the manhwa, because it's a Korean one. It's Accidental Baby. Recommendation of the day. Let me put it in the chat. It's quite new one. It's an Omega verse. And I have been quite invested into this one. It's nothing special, nothing crazy. This is how the main characters look like. The main character is the Omega one. He's a team leader at the company, and the one on the right, Alpha guy, is a director or someone very high in power, and they work each other in the same company. The thing with this story is that Omega has a syndrome or defect, disease, which prevents him from recognizing faces. So although he looks at them, he doesn't recognize them. It's similar to Apothecary, this very popular Mao Mao, the main character, the girl is called. She, tests poisons. It's very popular. There's anime adaptation. So her father had the same thing as this Omega guy. So because of some situations, they had one night stand. He becomes pregnant. He wanted to have a baby at some point, but he didn't see himself being in a relationship, especially how he looks like and with his condition. But it is what it is. And then obviously it was a one night stand with this other guy from the company. He goes for a business trip. And he thinks like, okay, now we are an item together, but he comes back and he doesn't, know that it was with him. So it's a lot of misunderstandings, silly situations, and sometimes Omega can look like a little bit dumb, because that's usually the case with those stories when they are overly stupid. But I read a really interesting comment because the Omega guy hears rumors about the Alpha, that he's dressed really nicely, he's smiling, so he thinks he's dating someone else. And you can assume that he's so dumb that he doesn't see that the other guy is head over heels into him. Baju, welcome again. I heard this title before. Yeah, it's trending. So the silly situation with that is, it's not because he's stupid that he doesn't see that the other guy is really into him, but he cannot picture himself into this kind of relationship. And that's why he removes himself from the equation. Like, he cannot believe that, they are an item or it's going into relationship. So it was very interesting perspective to look from a different angle. And I would like you to think about that when you read this, because this will make it a little more interesting or thrilling. Zalit, hello. Oh, misunderstanding. Yeah, it's everywhere. All of those, most of those stories are about misunderstanding to the extreme level of stupidity. But it is what it is. So I'm trying to give you recommendations to a little more interesting ones, and this kind of misunderstanding is a little more, a little deeper when you look at it from that side. So again, he doesn't picture himself in a relationship with someone else, and that's why he's removing all of those signals and scenarios that it could be about him, that he is a part of the equation. So that's the recommendation of the day. Moving on, we go into Tokyopop shelf, not Tokyopop, Seven Seas Entertainment shelf review. And you know what? On my Instagram, Tokyopop is quite often sharing my posts. Like when I do some reels with Tokyopop mangas or some pictures, they sometimes repost it as their story or repost this on their profile, so it creates a lot of traffic, and that's really nice. But anyway, I have some special delivery. Last time we talked about the quality of Amazon deliveries and what's inside. So I'm already building another pile for unboxing. And that's why I hustle so hard to, make money so we can all enjoy them on the stream. So I'm ripping this apart because it refused to go nicely. But I will open this one on stream because we already saw the one, and let's see if it's in a good condition. So I reached out to Amazon and asked for the replacement because, as some of you know, it was ripped apart. It was in a really bad shape. Let me move this a little bit back so you can see it in a full glory. So now it's acceptable, at least from the outside. It's a little bit bent, but whatever. It's very soft and big at the end of the day. But yeah, it's in a good enough shape for me. So it's Sasaki and Miyano art collection. Let me turn off the notification on my phone because people are, interrupting. Looking better, I think. Yeah, for sure. Like, it was ripped all around here. There was this ugly sticker in here. And what they told me, like, do you want a refund or do you want to wait until November? And I was like, what? I knew that there's like 6 books available. That's what was shown on their page. Let me remove the cover, sleeve cover, so I don't damage it because it's very delicate. And we can again take a quick look inside because it's really cool. But yeah, like, do you want to wait until November? Check the pages too. Yes, we will do it together. So look for any imperfection. So this is the biggest pain, I think, in this copy. Yeah, but there's some creases in here. So yeah, no, I will wait until November if I have to, because I want it. But fortunately, maybe they imported it somewhere else from different storage. And to be honest, I did not read it. I have to read it. I have to read it at some point because this is one of my favorite covers from the manga. So I really like this one. And actually, I checked some surveys and they mentioned that this is also one of the fan favorites. Yeah. Moving on. And this is this one we saw already. Is there anything else we can take a look? Yes, very cute. That's correct. Now yaoi addict, welcome back, welcome back. I was like a few days ago, I was before going to bed or in bed, I was thinking, okay, which names I can remember from my stream, like who is coming back? And it's really nice to see. And I guess our YouTube at the moment is more in a phase of building a community and retaining, because our reaches are horrible. Like we had hundreds of thousands reaches. Our reels were like few of them are millions views, but now we are hardly reaching 1,000. And based on my research, it looks like YouTube is now more focused on who we already have, and then maybe we'll again get some boost. But I also will test some new formats of making those short videos to bring more yaoi lovers and manga lovers to our channel. Okay, so that's it for this special piece. Let's move on to Seven Seas Entertainment for panel comic strip. If you have any questions, you want to dive deeper, just let me know. I will adjust this a little bit because it's a little bigger format, but we start with very heavy hitter, I would say. It's Aeneid. I really, really like this one. There's a lot of chapters. I dropped it at some point when it went beyond what's released at the moment, but most likely I will come back to it because it's a really good story, like with Eternal Covenant, where I have it, like this one. I'm new here, got this live recommended. I hope you will like it. So in here we talk about BLs, we talk Boys Love Manga. We also sometimes talk about different mangas if someone is interested, because this is not the only thing I have. I have different ones, but main like genre in here is boys love. So this is the Eternal Covenant. I also dropped this at some point. So yeah, so if you like it, you can stay, you can subscribe, so you are notified. And if this is not your thing, then you can go away. So Aeneid. So here we have what was it? Set. So its setup is in Egypt, Egyptian's gods. This is Seth, god of war. So let's go with the short intro from the back of the cover. So the full color Boys Love. It's a hardcover edition. Hardcover edition is 18 plus. So there is a soft cover which is cheaper, and there's no explicit content in there. So just for you to know, and this is like mature version, so you'll have to scroll very carefully, although it's not driven by smut. There is a smut at some point, there's even RAP situation at some point, so a little bit of violence, but at the end of the day it's driven by the plot, so it's not about just going at each other. Monday coming to get you. God, I want everything you have. Work hard, study hard. If you are a young person, then study hard and you'll get there, believe me. I also had to start somewhere. I also started somewhere with a very small collection. So, 9 powerful gods of ancient Egypt from the Aeneid. When the god of war Seth kills his brother Osiris and takes over Egypt, they are all family. So if you are into Egyptian gods, then you know they have the same parents, they are siblings, aunts, uncles. So this dynamic is quite controversial, but you were warned. So kill his brother Osiris. Osiris is a god of life and takes over Egypt. He ushers in an era of chaos and cruelty. Centuries later, a new challenger appears, Horus. Horus is the son of Osiris and this other lady. Isis. Not Isis, Isis. My god, the child of Isis. Or maybe it's spelled Isis. I don't know, but don't ban me for that. Horus is not yet fully a fully god. So they also come with it, like the transition when they are born, they have to realize and be reborn in a sense into a full godhood. There's a non-explicit version. First time I'm hearing, yes, there is. The soft cover version is not explicit one. The hard cover version, like this one, obviously, it's a mature 18 plus one, because it's like the situation with other one, like Kingsmaker. This is another one which I read online, and they started releasing them, and each time they sent me such a bad copy that I returned it, and at some point I gave up because it was in such a bad shape. So maybe I will resume collecting it, but I know at some point it becomes 18 plus, and I thought if they will take the same approach like with Enead. Oh my god, there is some kind of spot in here. Anyway, so I wanted to find out if there will be a hardcover version with smut, and I even reached out to their official account, and they said it's not 18 plus, because there will be, I guess, another series like with the cherry blossoms after winter. Like at the beginning it's not an 18 plus, but in the next seasons it becomes 18 plus. Let's be honest, the explicit version is better. It is what it is. Like I cannot disagree with you. So Horus is not yet a fully god, but he has the support of other deities to dethrone Seth. The conflict between Seth and Horus that begins as a series of trials warps into a complex web of deceit, obsession, and desire. This hit boys love webtoon is a reimagining of one of the oldest myths in human civilization. So that's the introduction, 7 Seas Entertainment. And let's go inside. So I don't recall any smut at the beginning. So again, this is Set and this is Osiris. So before we go in, let me get you into a treat. So they create a picture. 3 volumes. First 3 volumes create a picture, and 3 last volumes create a picture. So here you have Osiris, then you have Seth, and then you have Horus. I won't spoil you, because if I say something, it will be a big spoiler, and it's a big, not plot point, but shenanigan at the end of the first volume, I think, or maybe even later on. So I won't be talking much about what's going on in there, because the story is really nice, and I don't want to take away this twist upon twist. So this book was never opened, let's be honest. I read it online. So let's keep it like that. So this is Osiris and Isis. But let's get maybe a little more into character design, so you kind of see how they look like. What's the body type? Maybe I will open some smut, but it will take some time to get there. This is the son of Set, and this is Horus. So those trials which we heard about are happening because this is how they decide who will be the king of Egypt later on. Yeah. Okay, there's a big message. Monday coming to get ya. Funny story, I once read a post about Guy. He thought this manhwa has no BL element in, so he decided to read it. Later on he regretted it, but the plot was too good, so he became a fan. Yeah, for some guys it's difficult, or for some women it's difficult to get into this BL genre, but most of them are driven by smut, by sex, by intimacy. Not many of them are driven by a story. So, this one is driven by a story. So in that case, Okay. I won't be showing you smut because again I'll be giving away what's going on and what will be the plot twist, and I want this to save. Well, I want to save it for you to experience it on your own because it was a twist for me. God, and that is one of the first BL mangas that I read. It's so nostalgic to me. You have to be very young because it's not very old one if this was the first one, or you started very late. So this is the volume 2 cover. I already showed it to you a little bit. Like this reminds me, the hardcover style reminds me a little bit of this one, which I also really like, the covers, which is not a BL, but the girl from the other side, Sulin, Aruin, blah blah blah. So this is deluxe edition, so you can also see these details. I really like how they look like. Yeah, so that's the volume 2. Then moving on, then we have volume 3. He is greenish because, again, I cannot tell you why. You have to find out. Although most of you already know, but I don't know how many people did not read it. So this is volume 4. And as you can see, it's becoming more intimate. So there's this. Okay, this is volume 5, but this doesn't match. Okay, so but anyway, so this is the volume 5, and this is the volume 6, and I guess volume 6 will be in the center. That art style looks so good. I'm curious, but haven't read it yet. Yes, artsy mangaka. The style is nice. I enjoy it. It's very in line with Korean ones because like the shape of the body, physique. I prefer it even a little more to the Japanese ones. So this is how the picture connects. This is the sun of Set, and we have Horus on the left side. So he kisses the hand of Seth. So you can imagine. I'm not so young. It's just that I mainly read BL novels and not manhwas. You know what? Today is my birthday, so I'm 1 year older now. It's time to go to grave. Whatever. Whenever, like Shakira sang. Okay, then moving on, then we have very controversial one, full series of, is it that bad that I'm young but still read? No, enjoy that you are young. It's your greatest asset. Although, like, I don't feel any different all those years later, although I'm not ancient by any means, but I'm not so young anymore. So I don't feel any different, but it's just, I know that, people die at some point and this time is ticking, and that's what is scary to me. Like, the death is not scary in a sense, it's just, I'm curious what will happen in the future, what kind of other BLs will be there. Or other animes. So this is what's more scary to me than just the transition from one place to another. Or yeah. Anyway, killing, stalking. A lot of death themes in here. Gore, blood, very disturbing. But again, in here, it's a very good plot. I'm not into sadistic themes, into hurting someone, and there's a lot of that in here, so be warned. It's 18 plus, not because of smut, because smut is happening at some point, and the main, not main character, main lead, because main character is the bottom and main lead is the top. He's very handsome, the physique, again, this Korean style of drawing things, but the story is very dark. Killing, stalking scares me. I don't know. yeah, at the end of the volume 8, I was crying because the story is so good that you sympathize with characters, although they don't deserve that. But again, love conquers all or whatever. But can you call it even a love? So it's very mixed, but that's the goal, to, you know, bring those mixed feelings to the surface, and this is a great example of doing that. You are very conflicted inside, and that's why it's so good at the end of the day. So we know the character is bad, but we root for him because it's a complex situation. So it's a deluxe edition by Kogi, and let's go with the description. So crazy for you. Yon Bum, like a bat, a scrawny and quiet man, has a crush on one of the most popular and handsome guys in his college, Sangwo. After the two cross paths again, Yon Bum feelings grow in intensity until they become an obsession, and he breaks into Sangwoo's home. But what he sees inside is not the Sangwoo of his fantasies. His dreams of this alluring man abruptly turn into a nightmare. Does the author of Killing Stalking have other series? I love that. I think yes. Because it was an obsession of mine at some point. I think the whole series were released when I got into this one, and I started to look around, and I think because it's a guy, I think it's a guy who wrote this one. Yeah, you have to Google, but I didn't read, or I don't recall any other manhwas by him. But yeah, it's a very popular title. So let me give you a taste at the beginning, so you kinda see what's going on. So we have already very, you know, strong scene at the beginning. It's military service. The the bottom is abused by other guys because of his delicate frame during military service, and he is rescued. So that's a good thing. So this is the art style, and I need to scroll, you know, out of your view because we don't know what we can see on the next page. I want to show you the top guy. Yeah, so the main lead is beating the shit out of the main character because he broke into his house, he saw something, and now he's being, you know, beat down. Yeah, so he's a psycho, so I can tell you that already. Let me see if we have any spicy scenes, but also like an atmosphere which you can experience, like the constant fear and this, you know, look on his face. And how their crazy relationship is developing. So despite all of that, he's trying to please the other guy. So there's a little bit of smut in here, which is safe smut. And this is like the body build, and I won't be going further. The male lead is so handsome. Yes, he is. And, you know, pretty people, you know, have it easier in life. It's a pretty privilege. I think this is how it's called. So, you know. I can also show you this one without being banned by YouTube. Okay, and that's it from this one, Killing Stalking. Let's go to the other covers so you can see how they look like and how maybe they change throughout the story. So this is volume 2. Let me move my camera a little bit lower so you will have this a little bit higher. Okay, so this is volume 3. This is volume 4. Yeah, and please like, subscribe, comment, it helps a lot. Volume 5. This is the detective. Let me also move this a little bit back. Volume 6. And I think like that the main character looks better later on than at the beginning. And volume 7. And the last one, which is volume 8. The culmination of the story. There's nothing else after this one. No side stories, no any additional follow-up. And what's maybe interesting, like the main lead is heterosexual, although since they will have a physical relationship, and I don't feel this is anymore the case. So bisexual at that point. The main lead looks kinda set in volume 8. Maybe I won't spoil you, but there's a shift in his face, and you know the dynamic between the two of them. So that's why I said like it's very good in terms of the story, because those conflicting feelings bubble up when you read it. You sympathize with the characters. You want a happy ending at the end of the day. And the spoiler from my side, so close your ears if you don't want to be spoiled. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's no happy ending in here. Hello, Tony. Welcome, welcome. Okay, then moving to one of my favorite ones, which is Love is an Illusion. I featured this one multiple times on my channel. I have very popular YouTube shorts with this one. And this is one of the first, if not the first, Omega verses I read. So this was my introduction to this genre. It was being released at that point, so not everything was out. It's a very long series. There's a whole universum of that one. There's Love is an Illusion, the Queen. And it's about a sister, I think, or aunt of the main lead, because Alpha, the guy with black hairs, is the Alpha one, and he's main lead. And main character is the Omega one, which doesn't know at the beginning he is an Omega, and he tries to be an Alpha. At least Love is an Illusion art style seems happy. Yes, although there's a big chunk of drama in there, and I was teary at some points, because they have to bring some emotions. And there is also another series, which I hope will also be in print. It's about their child, Buell, their son, Alpha son. Because at the beginning it was like a big question, like, will their son be an Alpha or Omega? And then, okay, I'm spoiling you a little bit, but at this point it's so widely known that this is not a big secret anymore. So Fargo, let's go inside. So it's an 18 plus, mature, an Omega with Alpha tude. Hyesung spent his entire life believing he was an alpha, the jackpot of the genetic lottery. His world is flipped upside down when he learns that he is not a dominating alpha but a submissive omega instead. Why submissive omega? Like, his character is by no means submissive, but whatever. His frustration read lines whenever he crosses paths with the handsome Dojin, a true alpha. Supposedly, Dojin can stand omegas, but sparks fly when he butts heads with Hyosung, and their explosive arguments set off an unexpectedly spicy relationship. Is their sizzling chemistry truly just pheromones? So there's a lot of smut in here. And let's go in, but I need to, check few pages at the beginning. Some pages are colored inside. Okay, they're going quite hard at the beginning. So you don't have to go far to get into smut. Oh my god. So as usual with those omega verses, there's this Monday coming to get you. A bit unrelated, but have you seen the news about Painter of the Night having a live action movie? Yes, actually I was talking about that during our previous live stream, just before I go into Painter of the Night. So in every omega verse there's this introduction, what is omega, what is alpha, and how does it work in the story. So let's pause this for a second and go to the Painter of the Night. And I don't feel bad about pausing because Painter of the Night is 7 Seas Entertainment. So we are still on topic. So this is the Painter of the Night, Volume 1. And I said what I said during last stream. I'm very surprised that they chose actually this one to make a live action out of it. Because there's a lot of abuse in here. It's very sexual, it's very intense, very abusive. So is this the best what they could pick when it comes to some representation? But this also like builds some kind of perception, not so far from truth perception of, gay relationships, but those are mainly written for females, by females. It's not gays for gays or females for gays. They are usually read by females. So it's a female fantasy, how this look like and how it should work. Not so much male fantasy. Which manhwa do you want to have a live action movie? I'm not so much into live action movies. I feel like they are cringy a little bit. I'm not saying they are bad, it's just my internal problem because I don't live, like at this point I live in a little bit open country, but it wasn't always. It's about mindset. In very open, tolerant countries, you have different perception when you see same-sex couples, when you see them holding hands, being a little bit intimate in public or in movies, and so on and so on. So you feel like, okay, you are used to it. But when you are those more conservative countries, or not, if you can even count extreme countries, I don't live in extreme country, but more conservative country. So you were raised in a spirit of, not showing, not seeing, not being used to it. And to me, it speaks a little bit cringy, or I curl inside when I see this. So it's a very difficult topic to judge when it comes to BLs. And especially live action BLs, because those emotions are quite difficult to convey. And I'm not a fan of, intimate scenes in movies, in live movies, no matter the gender. In anime, it's I would say a little better, and I feel better about that. So maybe anime could be a better question. But if I would have to choose live action movie with BL themes or manhwa, I wouldn't choose the real life one, like gangster when it comes to Dangerous Convenience Store. I wouldn't choose like No Love Zone. I would choose something more in fantasy world with BL themes. This is something I would go for. And the example of that, the other world books depend on the bean counter. And anime story, I would love to see it about BJ Alex. BJ Alex is good, but there's a little bit of SM. I'm not a fan of SM, so they are really hot. The smut is nice, but yeah. So I like this one as an anime. So this is the other works books depend on the bean counter. I would love to see more in this one. In Hikaru died, the summer Hikaru died. So there is anime, but I would like them to be more intimate with each other. I'm not, and I don't mean having sex between each other, because that's not about that. Of course, some scenes well written are nice, and this is sometimes what we like, but it's not all about that. It's more about holding hands in some cases, or hugging each other, or having a date on the beach or on the riverbed, whatever, like more closer scenes where you know that they express their feelings towards each other, but not only through, penetration. if we want to go that direction. So that's another title. And the third title from like Junjo Romantica is already anime. So I really like that, but you ask about manhwa, and those are not manhwas. I know the Summer Hikaru died, but never read it. I read it, but I still need to watch the full anime. And at the beginning it was really nice. It was very heavily hinted into BL themes, but now they are, they used it as a bait and now pretend that it's not a BL. Manhwa. This is the manhwa. So this one, Eternal Covenant. This one I would really like to be made into anime. Is the Summer Hikaru died doomed yaoi? I was very angry with it for some time, because they were baiting us and then backing off, and there was a huge discussion if this is a really BL. But I read a really good post about analysis to see again this from a different perspective. So one thing is, it's a horror story with LGBT themes. So it's a queer story. So there's no question about that. We are not going into so strongly into BLs, because if this would be a BL, we would accept more closeness or more expression of feelings. But the thing with that one is that this could be all a metaphor. The Hikaru, the quote-unquote Hikaru, with this thing inside of him, it could be a metaphor of hiding his queerness from the world. So, all of those themes with the supernatural things and their conflicts inside, suppressing this, could have another meaning and translate into a bigger picture. And when you see it from that angle, then it takes another level of abstraction, and it's a mind-blowing situation then. But most readers want to see only black and white, and this is 50 Shades of Grey, which I read at some point and watched movies. So when I think about that's why I didn't drop it. It came back into my grace after this BL baiting at the beginning, when I see it from a little different angle. And I hope you will also see it from a different angle based on what I shared with you now. Yeah, so if it's a doomed BL, is it a BL at all at this point? So it's about managing expectations. sometimes enjoy brainless, you know, going like at it like rabbits, and sometimes I enjoy a really deep story. I think if this manga is fully BL, it won't be able to reach the larger audience. That was the concern when they started to move away from that. Like, I was thinking that, okay, it's becoming popular, so they are moving away, so it will appeal the bigger audience. And that could be true. But again, I read this comment and then I analyzed it into that different angle. And I'm not entirely happy. Obviously, I would like to keep the pacing set up in first two volumes, but it is what it is. Like, the story is good. You cannot deny that. Okay, so going back to the Love is an Illusion. But by the way, I love all the comments and all the questions. Like, please, it's all about that in this kind of live streams. Me showing something is a side topic to all of that. So Love is an Illusion. Let me give you a sample of what's going on. And usual with Omegaverse, we have accidents because of pheromones, because of heat, because of root, alpha root or omega heat. So it's a little bit shitty and I don't like this, and a lot of things are being justified by that. But you know, this one appealed to me very strongly. So I really liked it. The main lead is a musician. He's a singer and guitarist in a band. Obviously he comes from a rich family, but he's trying to build himself, and he has everything, while the main character, Omega 1, is struggling. He has been fighting his whole life for survival. He was abandoned by his mother. So it's a difficult path, usually the path of Omegas in all of the series. And based on the description, which I read you, the moving force between them will be also pregnancy. Yeah, but let's show you the covers and tell me which one is your favorite. So this is the volume 2 cover. So at this point they know about the pregnancy, and as you can see, the shoe, the baby shoe, and main lead is now trying to win over Omega because they are having their own challenges. Let me move this a little bit because it's falling apart. So this is the volume 3. I want a boyfriend as hot. I wish that my life becomes a BL manhwa. I want a boyfriend as hot as all the male leads. Yeah. I don't know what to say about that, because usually the most handsome, prettiest one, it's a whole lifestyle. It's not like magic in here. They don't work out, they don't go to the gym, and they have perfect body and blah blah blah. It's a lifestyle, and it's some kind of compromise at the end. I look at this from an old person point of view, quote unquote old. So this is Byul, this is their kid. Baby blues. This is the side couple. It's a brother of the main lead and assistant friend of main lead. So they kind of click in each other, and it's a alpha beta situation. Okay, wait 1 second. I need to push my books into different directions so they don't fall onto each other, although they are still trying to do so. This is the third couple. a friend of Omega on the right, and this one is Omega who was engaged to this Alpha. So there was a big drama in there. Drama. And this one is a drama queen. Who do you think is the hottest male lead, by the way? Mine is that one guy from Rose and Champagne. Caesar, if I'm correct, is that correct? This is the one you are thirsting for. I want to buy my boyfriend a crazy rich CEO. Oh my god, people. Such a high expectations. You have to become a CEO. This is volume 6. We'll come back to the hottest main lead or hottest top. So this is volume 6, and look how big he became. There's also this theory when Alpha falls in love, in Omega he beefs up subconsciously. So his physics is going through the change. And that's actually the situation with the story between their son, Buell, and the other guy. So volume 6, again, please stop falling to the left, start falling to the right. This is volume 7, and we have a lot of kids, and all of them are in Love is an Illusion Restart, or I don't remember the name, but the Buell is the main character, and those are side characters. So this is 7. Yeah, he's crazy and hot. I'm down for him. So this is and this is the Love is an Illusion, the Queen. It's a drama between the sister and assistant and friend, so it's a little bit of a love triangle. I won't go deeper into that, but in this case she has a penis because she's a female alpha, so she has a dick. Not my cup of tea. Going to the hottest main lead. Now the competition is very stiff because we have, my bias is showing, we have this one, we have our how do you call it? I don't know how to pronounce this, but they call him like uncle or whatever. We have Dangerous Convenience Store with this one. Then we have No Love Zone with this guy. Then we have the New Recruit with this one. Then we have Perfect Body with this one. Yeah, the word is that, but I don't know how to read it. Low Tide in Twilight, he isn't as hot. And obviously we have the fan favorite, which is this one, Caesar. Oh my god, they are all hot. Yes, they are. So yeah, so let's keep ourselves limited to 7 Seas Entertainment today, because I would have not enough space. And so yeah, so those are strong candidates. But you know, maybe I'll be a little bit controversial, and I would say we also have Horus from Enad, and I think that he would be my pick. I'm having a panic attack. They're all hot. I have to stay loyal to Caesar or whatever his name is. Yeah, I think I would go with Horus. And why is that? I guess he's the most realistic to a real life person. Even like this physique of his, it's achievable. Like for some of those, it's not achievable, or it's, you know, not very realistic. That's the one thing. The anatomy of Horus is also correct. So he doesn't have a elephant trunk between his legs. Third leg. So he's not three-legged, but by two-legged. And Caesar obviously he has three legs, not two. And they are going to extreme, and in here it's being painted, so you can see what the ridiculousness of that situation is. My number two, I'm a little bit mixed about this one, but he also has like a third leg between his, in front of his waist. Berthold is hot without the hat. Yeah, I know. That's why I said like this would be a surprise. So I need to find him without his hat to show you how he looks like, and let's see if you maybe change your mind. But it's very difficult to find a scene without his hat. It's volume 4. Let's go to volume 6. I think more toward the end he is a little more willing to show his face. I'm looking. I cannot show you that without, I cannot scroll through because there are some explicit scenes. So I'm looking for Osiris without a hat. Maybe there isn't a scene in there like that at this point, because maybe it will be there much later. I'm not entirely sure about that. I guess you'll have to just believe me. Yeah, volume 7 coming soon, but it's been a while since the volume 7 was out. So volume 6 was out. Yeah, later on he's, showing his face more. So I won't show you, but yeah, this is my winner. Horus from Aeneid. And I see some comments. Just give me a second, because I like to keep it clean. Okay, so let's see. Hottest male lead from me, Jake from Shatline. I always have something towards military men. Yeah, Shatline. Jake is the top. I find the bottom one much more handsome than top one. My type of a man is mafia related, and why I need Jesus. Like, the very handsome guys are in Twittering Birds Never Fly. I really like how they look like. And this is a mafia related, maybe Yakuza related, because mafia is more of a European American term, so there's also a difference. Black Flag, the main lover from Hard Packer, forgot the name. I didn't read the Black Flag. Yes, Jake the top. Yeah, so I prefer much more the bottom one. And let's be honest, he's very similar to Caesar, the top guy from Shatline, whatever. Let me put those back in, and then we will maybe resume what we were doing before. Volume 2, and actually the next one in line is My Bias is Showing. So this is the one. Just searched up Heart Packer, you all, are you making me unfaithful to sis? Oh my god, oh my god. Let me also Google it, so I will share with everyone. Heart Packer. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Heart Packer. Images. Okay. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. So for all of you, one second. Okay, do I need to download this picture? Let's do it like that. Yeah, so this is how they look like. Very feminine bottom. So Heart Packer. This is what showed up. But you know, the common theme, which I also talked about before, in those Korean manhwas, at least the one on my shelf, is that the top and bottom are very manly. Maybe not very, but even in this case, we can see that the bottom is a little more delicate, but still there is not such a huge difference in terms of size, height, weight, and other traits, while in many mangas, bottom is very petite and so on. But there are also some mangas where this is reversed, because in real life, you know, the manliest, most, you know, butched, hetero-like male can be a bottom. Most submissive bottoms on top of that. Mafia. Somehow what comes in my mind is Under the Green Light. I was reading this one and there was a hiatus and now I have to catch up. Those are two really hot, like them. And the bottom one is also like, you know, very manly, a little bit sadistic. Yeah. It's hard having a relationship with an idol. I can smell the idol from the cover of my bias show. Yeah, he's an idol. I must say farewell to sis. Wait until you see Tassel from Geek of the Day. If you like Jackie Jinx, you'll probably like, yeah, Jinx, another example. And the bottom is quite feminine, but still he's maintaining some level of decency when it comes to how much they feminize him. And obviously he is, the top one from Jinx is hot, but he's piece of shit, and that's why I don't like this. So that's why, like, you know, I had the character, the behavior also influenced the judgment to some extent with all of those titles. And Caesar at the beginning of the series is a little bit bitchy, and I didn't like that too much. Okay, so my bias is showing. We reviewed this during one of the streams, so I will focus. Let me get it a little bit down, because yeah, it will be easier for everyone to see, because the description will be higher. So rule number 1, don't simp. Rule number 2, too late. High school teacher Nya Aijong has a secret obsession. He's a total simp for the handsome Choi Seol from the popular idol group A1. That's the group name. Nya Aijong is so enamored with Seol that even his weekends are devoted to fanboying over and dreaming about the pop star, while he would give anything to meet Seol even once in his lifetime. He's accepted the fact that it's not going to happen one day until it does. Cast in a variety show, Seol is slated to be at Aijong's school for filming. And what's better than seeing his idol every day? Catching his attention. Suddenly, cast as Seol co-star, the names are killing me, Aegon must put on the multiple act, not showing his rabbit fan side, lest he creeps y'all out. But as the two grow closer, keeping secrets will become more of a challenge for both of them. You know, I stutter a lot with those descriptions because they, you know, talk about something, then give addition which is totally not related, and then there's a continuation. And from this angle, it's not super easy to read those descriptions, but I want you to see them as best as possible, so you can always pause and come back if you want to check out something. Oh my god, that rule though. Yeah, yes. So I will give you a little sample. So a lot of cherry blossom in here, and I like cherry blossom. I like cherry flowers. They're really, really nice. So this, you know, both of them are handsome. Both of them are really nice. You are my ideal type, Mr. Blah blah blah. Yeah, and this kind of colors with that is looking really nice. Yeah, it's very, you know, candy-like vibes. Overly sugary ones. You give me K-drama vibes from the pink color. We have some, you know, boobies in here. There was a joke about boobies, or like a sketch, comedy sketch, but I don't remember. Yeah, so that's for this one. My bias is showing. Then we have volume 2, which is a little more purple-like, and I like this cover a little bit more. The volume 2 cover instead the volume 1. Okay, so we are over 1 hour. Let's go through one more series, and then if there will be questions or you want to talk about something else, then we can talk about, but we'll split this into 2 streams, the shelf review, but we can focus on other things. So then we have the Dangerous Convenience Store. And there is anime about that, but very sloppy one, because those characters are not looking too much like that. They are cutting corners, less details when it comes to character design. So this is about the student who works at the convenience store. We also talked about this one during the unboxing. So let me quickly read the description. So sparks fly in the full color. Boys love hit webtoon. Oh, all of them are hit webtoon. About a down on his luck cashier and a handsome stoic gangster. College student Yeon Yoo-jeong works the graveyard shift at the convenience store to pay his bills. The shift sucks, but the money's good. And the customers, mostly mobsters and hoodlums, I never heard about this word, don't cause too much trouble. That might be due to Gyunwo, a tall, chunky yet funky gangster who frequents the store for booze and cigarettes. If you watch the Drag Race, there's this drag queen, Latrice Royale, and she was chunky yet funky. Latrice Royale. He's scared than the rest of the clientele, but seems to have a soft spot for Yoon-jung, defending him from the more violent customers. Could there be more behind Ganjo's protective actions? And if so, is Yoo-yeon prepared to be a part of Gyun's violent world? 18 plus, mature. And there's a comment. I need a hot uncle to meet me in the convenience store too. Life is unfair. Yeah, but let's be honest. What you would do if you would meet him in this convenience store? Would you approach him, or it's not only about meeting him? He also need to approach you, pursue you, adore you, run after you. So the whole fantasy has to be there. Korean names are killing me too. It's hard to remember. It's hard to. I have a problem with the names overall, but in my head I have some pronunciation, and it works out. But as I mentioned before, I read so many of those mangas, manhwas, and God knows what else that I don't focus anymore at, like on names. I focus on faces more and on the plot, because those names at this rate they stop becoming meaningful. Flirt with him, like I would like to see that Monday's coming to get ya. I would like to see that. Next time this will happen, you have to put a picture on our YouTube in like a community post. You can, add you with him together, and we will, see what's going on. You flirt like this? Why would you drink so much? You sure can hold your liquor. Girl, you are thirsty. You are thirsty for this booty hole. He's a crybaby. A lot of tears, and also this crying during sex. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like nobody is doing that. Nobody is crying like that. So there's a lot of nice intimacy in here. Hey, uncle, you single? Because I'm ready to mingle. Oh my god. You never know. Go for it. Go for it. I wish you well in hell. The Cardi B. Like, what would you say to your enemy? I wish you well in hell. Or there was other different interview where one lady was talking with her, like, Obama is saying, like, if they go low, we go high. What you do? And she's like saying, I go even lower. I go to hell, lava. It was so funny. Yeah, that's it. That's it, girl. You go for it. Yeah, so hold your tissues. A lot of smut in here. Safe smut, which we can show a little bit. Bulges through the pants are also safe. We can show that. So this kind of, gangster guy, this is something I like, because his character is not so bad. Okay, and this is the last one which I will show you. So this is sexy scene for the bottom, and this is sexy scene for the top. This bottom is cute. I will take both the top and the bottom and then fight. Trust. You can make a sandwich with them. Oh my god. Oh my god, I dented my book. Look what you made me do. Here. Oh my god. Security? I need security in here. Anyway. Go for it if it's Caesar. So let's go through the covers. And that would be it from the 7 C's for today. So The Dangerous Convenience Store, Volume 2, The Price of Seducing Me. Yeah, on my Tinder profile, key to my heart is fidelity. So you choose to be faithful. It's a choice. It's a conscious choice every day. And unfortunately, people are not very faithful. So that's what it is. Volume 4, Volume 5, The Long Goodbye, and the volume 6. And next month, my dear viewers, next month volume 7 is coming out with side stories, for sure with some art. But will there be any side story? I don't know. I guess there will be something in there, maybe some interviews, some Q&A. But we will see, because obviously I will order it and obviously I will share it with all of you. At the moment we have 2 packages in our stockpile for next unboxing. We'll see when there will be more. I think something is still coming, and if it will be here, I will make another stream. Next 7 Seas Entertainment stream will take place next Friday, and if I get some stuff from Amazon, then I will do a stream during middle of the week, Wednesday. But let's see what will come. Yeah, and that's it. Maybe you have any questions. Maybe you want to... Oh my god, I hit my phone. Oh my god, and I hit my book. Jesus Christ. In Jesus' name I pray for some divine intervention. Today, also for some of you, I don't know how many of you collect Pokemons, there was a new release of Chaos Rising. Mega Evolution Chaos Rising. Obviously, I purchased some of them because I collect Pokemons too. Pokemons, Funko Pops, some comics, Nintendo Switches collector editions, Pokemon Center pins from Japan. Which one is your most favorite bottom? Which one is my most favorite bottom? Which one? Which one is it? I think I like a lot this one from Low Tide Twilight. This is one I like. What else? What else? What else? I don't know. He's not, I don't know if he's spicy, but because he's fighting hard, although most bottoms are put into situation to fight hard for their future, but resilience when it comes to his brother, taking care of him, sacrificing himself to make sure, like when there was this situation that father came into the father/mother, because it was Omega, came into the picture to, you know, so he was like thinking about the brother instead of himself. So this is this is like the character mostly, because he wouldn't be my type when it comes to dating. He's more of a like from the character point of view. But your favorite bottom, EUM from Mangjong, Jean from Under the Green Light. Actually, both power bottom. Are they power bottoms? Like, the power bottom term is very misleading. Because the power bottom, it's not a bottom who is bossy in real life, but submissive in bed. It's like other way around. or maybe not are aware, they are very dominant in bed, but it doesn't mean they are very dominant in life. So that's why it's a tricky term. Okay, then what would most favorite couple in manhwa? Mm, but going back to favorite bottoms, I really like, or to some point, I really liked Brian from Eternal Covenant. So this is the one I liked. I liked Misaki from Junjo Romantica. And favorite couple. Favorite couple. Favorite couple. Like, I don't want to use the other world books depend on the mean counter, but I like their dynamic. It's not toxic. Blue Morning, but I cannot show it to you because it's very, very high on my shelf. It's from Sublime. That was really good when it comes to their dynamic. I also really, really liked Bad Boys Happy Home. It's it's difficult story, a little bit dark. Okay, let me lift you all up to the stars so you can see it. 1 second. So it's Blue Morning is there, and Bad Boys Happy Home. So that's the one when it comes to couples. And again, I like them because of characters and what they had to overcome to build their, happy home. So that those two. My favorite couple is Caesar and me. Oh, you go for it. If you are good at drawing, you can create a fanfic at this point. Yeah. Yeah, but what about your couples? It's only about me. I didn't read this book yet, but their relationship looks toxic. Nucleus Cambin 6115. Yes, most of those are toxic, if not very toxic. I don't want to say great majority of them, because when we look at my whole collection, so you can see it's big. At this point, you cannot say that majority of them, because we have also newer titles, and they are not so toxic or not toxic at all. But the older titles and some of the new ones are toxic. Do you know any BL manhwa that are related to solving crimes? Yes. Actually, we quite recently received one like that, which is this one. It's called The Troublesome Guest of Sotomura Detective Agency. So it's about solving crime. Mang Jong Ko's the main character is detective. So you can see another recommendation. I don't have many related to crime and solving crime. But what else I can think of? I can also think of there's this policeman. What's the title? It's also very high and sublime. It's a sublime title. not Megumi, my dearest patrolman. It's here. It's not so much about solving crime, but a little bit. Yeah, so the detective agency probably will be the best pick. I'm writing this name down so I can Google it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Gooners. Hopeless Gooners. It is what it is. You know, at this point, with so, again, I focus on story. I'm not excited in that way at this point with those stories. I saw too much. Yeah. Any other question before we finish? Yeah, I got 2 materials to go now. Good luck and let us know how it went later on. You can leave a comment if this was a successful session. Oh my god. Yeah. So we'll be finishing our lovely session. And we'll see each other soon. I'll be releasing some shorts this week for sure. I will sit down and do them. I need to plant some hydrangeas in my garden. Finally, there's warmer weather. Monday, last question. Which BL manga made you all cry? There are many of them. Like, I cried during Junjo Romantica. I cried reading Killing Stalking. I cried while reading The Other Worlds Depend on a Bean Counter. I cried during the summer Hikaru died. It was like not like a stream of tears, but you know, I got choked at some point while reading it during some scenes and situations. Is there anything else that made me cry? You cry too much, drink more water. As I said, it's not like, you know, sobbing. It's you know, I was like, you know, my throat got a little bit dry. Some tears came to my eyes, but not anything extreme. Like the world's greatest love story. Especially with those longer series, there are highs and lows. You connect with characters, especially when the story is good, you get attached, and when they're having their lows, you sympathize with them. I'm a very sympathetic person, so empathetic person, so there's a lot of empathy in me, and I'm feeling this strongly, and especially when there is some kind of sad music in the background, which I really like, then, you know, it's painful. I'm burning inside. It's a sweet pain, but on the other hand, like, I stopped watching some movies, animes, because, you know, I'm sick after them, because I just, you know, think about my life, like how this could be my love story or whatever, and it isn't. So, you know, so it's difficult for me. Right now, I'll goon to Mangjung and my dearest patrolman. So, happy gooning. We'll be closing the session because I think we scared away too many people at this point. But appreciate all the comments. Welcome again, Monday coming to get you. Hope to see you another time. Again, please like, subscribe, comment. This helps. And we'll see each other latest next Friday, earliest middle of the week, so next Wednesday. Bye, and I wish you great rest of the day and lovely weekend, all of you. So bye 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 bye.